So in May, I dressed up like a crazy woke feminist and went on 2 different college campuses in Atlanta, Georgia. When I was there, I went on camera asking students different provocative questions, and then I made a video for every question that I asked. One of those videos was posted on Libs of TikTok and got almost 1 million views. Then this video was reviewed by different celebrities on YouTube, and here's the compilation of their reactions. I will let Sky News Australia introduce this video, and then we will see other reactions.
We have great footage of a conservative YouTuber. Her name is Shula, and she went onto university campuses to ask young men if they would donate a testicle to transgendered people in order to fight toxic masculinity. Now, can you imagine a more ridiculous proposition? And yet, how ridiculous have our university students become?
Dave, I don't know if you're quite ready for people's responses on this one, but I was watching this video with my mouth agape.
Hold on.
And over again yesterday because it's just that crazy.
Before you throw to the clip, let me just preemptively say I'm getting too old for this shit.
I'm gonna show y'all a video. It comes off like satire, but it's real. They're being genuine. It's sincere. It's coming from a sincere place. You know what they call that, right? What? Crazy. Check this video out.
I'll tell you who needs to be rejecting something entirely, and that is the moron men that you are about to see in this video. The woman whose face you can see on the screen already. I know this will come as no surprise to anybody. She's like a PhD in gender studies.
Of course.
Raise your hand if you're shocked.
And now we're going to react to one of the craziest campus videos I've seen in a while, and that's saying something. Oh, and heads up, just so you know, this interviewer is a troll. Like, don't take her seriously. She's doing a bit, but these students are, at least in theory, responding to these questions seriously.
Hello, my name is Amandla, and I have a PhD in gender studies. I'm here at Georgia State University campus in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm here to advocate for LGBTQ rights. I'm going to go around this campus asking male students if they would be willing to donate one of their testicles to benefit trans men and help stop toxic masculinity. Walk with me. Would you donate one of your testicles to benefit trans men? And would you donate one of your testicles to benefit trans men and help fight toxic masculinity?
I'd have to know more about the medical implications of me having a procedure to get rid of my testicles, but I'm not against the idea entirely.
Would you be willing to donate one of your testicles to benefit trans men and help fight toxic masculinity?
Sure, why not?
And would you be willing to donate one of your testicles to benefit trans men and help them fully transition medically?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a trans woman, so yeah.
Oh, okay. How about you?
Yeah, I suppose, in theory, yeah. I mean, practically, I'm not really sure. That's a kind of a big ask to spring on me suddenly, but
It's it's something you would consider. Would you consider that? We're just trying to assess if an average man would be willing to consider that.
Yeah, if I ever felt like I definitely was I don't want kids, and somebody explain if I knew that things were going to function properly afterwards, I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah,
really,
because there is a risk entailed too.
Would you be willing to donate one of your testicles to benefit trans men and help fight toxic masculinity?
It's just right now, would I go?
Would you consider that?
Yeah, I'd consider it.
Okay, so would you be willing to donate one of your testicles to benefit trans men and help fight toxic masculinity?
Yeah, I probably would.
So would you be willing to donate one of your testicles to benefit trans men and help them medically transition and also help fight toxic masculinity?
Probably not. I don't know. I don't think
so.
Yeah, so we're just trying to assess whether or not an average man would be willing to donate, do organ donation.
Knowing the average I don't know if they would. I'm not gonna lie, but I never thought about it. I haven't put much thought about it.
So for you personally, you wouldn't consider that?
Oh, maybe if I was a bit older, I would say maybe I would consider it. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Caleb, I've got to ask you, would you donate a testicle to fight toxic masculinity?
No, not to fight toxic masculinity. My one question would be...
How much? How much would someone have to offer you?
My one question would be, does it mean that it hurts half as much if you cop a kick in the nuts if you get rid of one of them? That might be the only thing that would convince me to get rid of one.
The they-thems really have you left this by the balls? You literally have men willing to chop off their testicles as a sacrifice to the religion of progressive ideology. I have nothing else to say.
Pause it. He said, okay, he's a trans woman. Yeah. He said there's a risk. A risk of what? So it's like he's defeating his own argument. It defeats all this transgenderism stuff. So a man chopping his nuts off is a risk. I don't think anybody's ever died from that. Getting castrated? No. I don't think it's a risk. I mean, there's a risk. I mean, I'm sure some people have died chopping their nuts off. I don't think so. If you do it as a medical procedure. I think if it's done with a doctor is licensed. Yeah. And sew it up. Sew it up and stitch it up right. And he knows what he's doing. Yeah. But, you know, cosmetic surgery, that's how Joan Rivers died. Joan Rivers was 155 years old. Yeah, but she's getting some cosmetic surgery. Man, you don't need to be getting no cosmetic surgery 155 years old. You were asking for it. You trying to die. Oh, just saying, man. No matter how experienced the doctor is, something could go wrong. You get an infection. At least he was willing to acknowledge the fact. If there was a real risk, these dudes wouldn't be chopping their nuts off. Yeah. I've seen people chop their nuts off, chop their phallus off. I never got over the fact that if you're a trans woman, what was the whole purpose of you chopping your nuts off and your tip if that doesn't define what a female or male is? It's like almost like you acknowledging that there is such thing as a gender when you chop it off.
I don't know if I'd be down, but I call some friends. They might be down.
Maybe you can leave your information here and we can contact you later.
Oh my God.
This is fully confidential.
So she asks like 8 people this question, Dave, and I kid you not, in the multiple versions of this video that she ends up posting, men actually said, sure, if it's just one testicle, like, yeah, I'd be okay doing that.
First off, saying you will chop off your nut for someone you don't know to use in the future is one thing. Chopping said nut is a different thing, and I suspect most of them would not have gone through it when push came to shove or when the knife came to the nut. But yes, it does illustrate. First off, I love that guy's response. Well, I'm not going to do it, but I could talk to a couple of my friends. I mean, yeah, sure, I got a couple guys over there. Somebody will offer up a nut.
It's just one. It's not both. It's just one of your nuts. Please donate to help the women who think they are.
I would say maybe.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I can't.
The one dude that said no was wearing a monogram. What's happening?
I don't know.
That was downtown Atlanta, you guys. Downtown Atlanta. That's where Georgia State is.
This just goes to show you how indoctrinated college students are that they come out with nonsense like this. Between all of the men in this video claiming that they'll be able to donate their testicles, I don't believe any of them have that because of the nonsense that's coming out of their mouths. The indoctrination runs so deep that they can't even ask a simple question as to how does donating your testicles help any cause such as this. But I'm not surprised because these people are not that smart, although they're getting higher education.
I can't believe this is real life. Am I being punked? Where's Ashton Kutcher? Coming out with the cameras? I'm immediately calling bullshit. I don't believe a single one of these people that they would ever actually donate a testicle to a trans man or to fight toxic masculinity. Don't believe it. I do not think any of them would even actually consider it. They are lying. But that actually makes this exponentially more interesting. Why would they say yes, they'd consider it if that's not actually true? It suggests that they're so afraid of not being woke, of saying something offensive or problematic, and they know they're on camera and they could get canceled if this clip goes out and their peers see it. They're so terrified of being called transphobic that they're literally lying to themselves and to the audience and saying they'd be willing to cut off a testicle. That really suggests a deeply repressive, intolerant, and illiberal attitude on these college campuses, which, look, that's not news. We know that that has taken over many of these institutions.
I'm at a loss. Like this is men today. This is, and half of them didn't really, 80% of them didn't really even look like men.
Right.
Like sweet meteor of death just hit us now.
Right. It just doesn't get worse. It just doesn't get worse.
Oh my gosh.
They've got a girl with blue hair. They're being asked about LGBTQ issues. Do you reckon they were just petrified of saying the wrong thing? So they feigned, maybe I'd think about it. Or do you reckon they've seriously been so brainwashed by woke ideology, they would...
how waterboarded with said ideology do you have to be? How delusional do you have to be? You are willing to part with one of your nuts for the cause. I mean, do you actually think that's going to be somehow soldered on to a trans man? I don't think so. And yet some of them put absolutely no thought into it whatsoever. They're just like, well, if it's for the cause, it's for the cause.
Speaking of nuts, the other day picked up Justin, and he just, not intentionally, just full on kicked me in the nuts, like hardcore. Ouch. Complete accident. He was barefoot, no shoes or anything. But I haven't been kicked in the nuts like that in a long, like comically fell to the floor. I full on, like, if it had been videotaped, that would have been seen a billion times across the internet, like buckled over in pain, and I just left there. And then he leaves me on the floor. He walks out of the room, and then he comes back in and he goes, "Dad, boo-boo, boo-boo." I was like, "Yeah, man, you just kicked me in the nuts." This is what I'm dealing with when I'm not on camera, you know?
And that's exactly what it would feel like to donate your testicle to a woman, apparently.
Man, you damn fools. These kids at these schools, man, it's like, where did he come from? College campuses is rife with idiots. It's a bastion of wokeism. Yeah, it's just like they're sitting there thinking about it. I mean, has that even been a shut up! I ain't done talking. Has that been a confirmed case of somebody like chopping off their penis, nuts, and transplanting it onto a woman? I don't even think they was going to transplant it, Keith. I think it was like the ultimate sacrifice. They in toxic masculinity. Yeah, but these guys, the people she's asking, they got the impression like you can transplant, because that's what the girl's saying. The blue hair to help them transition. Obviously, they're going to transplant that one nut on them. Imagine you go through the transition, you get the surgery, and you ain't got no piece, you just got one nut hanging. I don't think they was gonna. You just got a bag of skin and a nut hanging. you still got the vagina right there. I don't think they was actually going to transplant it. I think it was like. No, I'm speaking from in their mind, because they're asking these questions, these people, and they're entertaining, and they say, "Yeah, I do it." It's like, what do y'all think it's going to look like? They say they got no much to. This guy got a bag, one nut in there. Hey, no tip.
And look, with any of these man on the street videos, there is always the possibility that these responses are cherry-picked. That maybe she interviewed 50 people and found 5 who said yes and only showed us those ones, plus one guy who said no, then yes. But even so, the idea that you could even find 5 or 6 people like this in just one afternoon on a college campus willing to say something so patently absurd with their full chest, that alone.
But they've got a woman standing there wearing the most obviously fake blue wig, right? Like, how they did not look at this woman and go, clearly this is satire. That's how far gone these people are. And then comes out with this ridiculous suggestion, would you donate a testicle to stop toxic masculinity. I mean, it's like going into a shopping centre and saying, would you give me the 3 of your fingers to stop children being hungry in Africa? I mean, what difference is...
Well, they're hardly comparable causes.
But they're not comparable causes, but giving a testicle to get rid of toxic masculinity, I mean, is she suggesting that it's a bit like when you neuter an animal, you know, when your horses start going mad, so you geld them to calm them down, you know? If every man gets rid of a testicle, well, I don't know, that's going to solve every...
But, like, the fact that this had multiple responses on the internet of, A, this question even reasonably being considered by people. Like, they actually are sitting there thinking, well, maybe, like, I don't know if I would, maybe somebody else would, or yeah, maybe I'd consider that. How did we get there in 2024 where would you, sir, donate one of your testicles to a trans person so that we can implant that on their own body and for awareness of the LGBTQ community? How did that become a genuine question?
Yeah, people like, I'm a firm believer. Everybody can't vote. Yeah. You gotta pass a competency, some kind of competency test. Yeah, because these kids are inept. Hey, what I was gonna say is this, man. If somebody came up to me while I was on campus, right, I'd say, hell no, I wouldn't waste not one drop of semen on a transgender woman. Not one drop. That's what I would say. That would be my response. You can take it off me when I'm dead. No, you can't even take it off when I'm dead. I'm taking that to heaven with me. You ain't getting shit off my body. Matter of fact, I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm not gonna be an organ donor. I'm gonna go to DMV and change that. Some transgender gonna end up getting my organ. It's gonna be just a waste of organ donorship. Show's over.
Is disturbing. I mean, these are supposed to be the best and brightest, like the next generation of people going to lead in business and teaching and all sorts of important fields, and they're too scared to answer a basic question like this honestly. That is deeply, deeply alarming to me, at least about these handful of individuals, but it's also, honestly, insanely entertaining and hilarious. I watched this video like 3 times when I first saw it on Twitter, and I gotta say, to the woman who is a troll, don't take her seriously, who thought up this question and decided to go and do this, brava, lady, brava, because this is just... But what did you guys think of this video? Please let me know in the comments, and let me know, would you donate a testicle to a trans man to be an ally and to combat toxic masculinity? Because for me...
It's definitely a no for me, though.
I think your most pertinent comment is, how did they not recognise it was satire?
I know!
But the world right now is so mental that satire's almost dead, so you'd believe pretty much anything
And you can't question anyone, of course. I mean, you know, someone says, I've got the degree in gender studies and I wear a blue wig. Well, you must be obeyed. There's nothing potentially wrong with you whatsoever. And, you know, you have these moments and you think, my God, the world has gone to hell in a handbasket. We need someone quick smart who knows what's going on and can sort all of this out.
What's really interesting about it is, look, people just say yes to things and they don't even know what they're saying yes to sometimes, or you just want to get that person out of, you know, but also how can you take that person seriously with the hair and everything else? But like, there's something to be said. Let's say you were really into this thing, right? Like, so you really want to help trans people as much as you can help them, and you might be willing to donate your testicle. Let's say that was there's a certain set of society that would be willing to do that. I suspect you would only want to do that to someone that you knew that wanted the testicle, but to just go on the list and anybody's going to get your ball. That's crazy.
Here, take my balls.
Take my balls, please.
A few points here. So the chicks on the right and the HodgeTwins didn't realize that it was a prank, which is really funny. And unlike what Brett Polumbo said, I didn't cherry pick. I included all the content that I had. No, wait. So there was this one guy that I interviewed and the microphone malfunctioned, so I couldn't include that clip. But that guy basically told me that he's not ready to donate now, but he might be willing to donate later when he's done having kids or something like that. The most difficult part of doing this was to just get out of the car wearing this crazy outfit. I thought that everyone would look at me and immediately realize that it's a joke. But nobody seemed to be surprised by my appearance. Nobody seemed to be surprised by the questions either. It was like I was asking people for directions or what time is it? And like they said on Sky News Australia, this is the most obvious wig in the world, and this is why it was so shocking, right? I bought it for $20 on Amazon, and this is the most obvious clown outfit too, and everyone is taking me seriously. I think it just shows that the boundary between normal and abnormal no longer exists. Anyway, I hope you guys do your part fighting toxic masculinity. Just kidding. Check out my other prank interview videos. They're lots of fun. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I'll be doing other pranks in a different outfit. Thank you everyone for your support, and a special thank you goes to my Patreon subscribers. See you soon. If you like this content, please hit the subscribe button together with the bell sign so that you don't miss any of my future videos. This is Simply Shula.